Crispy. Man and magic to some. Jordan! Oh hey, I didn't see you there. You just caught me reading The Dance of Intimacy by Harriet Lerner, Ph.D. Crispy. Man and magic to some, abusive con man to many. Hi, I'm Nicholas Ryan, cousin to Chris, and father to the notorious psycho killer Freddy. I remember the first time I met Chris, I was actually hired by actor Simon Pegg to erase Chris. After he got frustrated with Chris writing fan mail, not to him, but to the movie Shaun of the Dead in general. But when I got to Chris's house, I just couldn't kill him, and I've regretted it ever since.
I've been Chris's foe and fellow filmmaker for years now, and there's just one thing that has me worried about him. It's his lack of confidence in the people around him. From telling women they can't parallel park to kicking puppies in the groin, Chris has always been very self-dependent.
But to understand why, you must know Chris's story from the beginning. 1991, a Miss Patty P gives birth to the only child in history to exit the womb already wearing glasses. After horrifyingly killing the doctor that removed him so rudely from his home, young infant Chris was torn from his parents and placed in foster care where he lived with rodents until the age of 5.
I've been Chris's parent for I don't even know how long now. It all seems like such a dream, from the innocent druggings to the harmless cookies on dowels. But ever since Chris was born, I knew that he would grow up to be a very special boy.
And special he was. After being introduced to Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back in 1997, Chris's genius mind slowly disintegrated, eroding for years to leave behind the special mind he has today.
Well, see, right from the get-go, I knew the kid had problems. I mean, who misses their first year of JK? I mean, come on, that's where your foundations get built. And you miss this? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? See, I'm not sure what he did to me on his birthday when I fell asleep that one time, but he did wake me up, and I was sort of in a daze that, his cousin Nick and him were watching Pokemon at 12 o'clock at night. I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew it wasn't horrible. Also, what's this with this obsession of Scooby-Doo? I mean, what self-respecting kid allows himself to get pulled in by the show that the plot line is the same in every episode or movie? I mean, come on! Can I get out? I guess you could really relate him to Tomba, the popular video game character. He likes to whack pigs, and his hair is naturally freaking me out. He threw up purple in my car. And when I say purple, I mean purple liquid, on account of all the grape juice he had drunk that day at my house. Another memory I have of him wanting to kill me was the time that me and him went to the CNE. He took me on perhaps the scariest ride there, the thrill ride. I'm not sure what it was called. I think it was called the Backlash or something. Oh no, it was G-Force, that was it. G-Force, the ride at the X. Several weeks later, the same ride had given 9 children a case of serious whiplash. And that's a true story. I guess him and the carny running that ride had miscommunicated. That didn't work out for him. I'm still alive. Hey, you know you're not in prison, right?
But just how much did Chris love games? It is a well-known fact that, at the age of 8, Chris had become the youngest boy in the world to enter and win a national thumb war competition. When asked how he trained, he replied Pokemon Blue and continued with this drunken orgy of madness. The question posed, with a boy so young and so full of pop culture references, would his reign of terror ever be drawn to a halt? Well, on the eve of Y2K, his perfect life of drunken solitude took a devastating downfall.
I've been one of Chris's friends since kindergarten, so obviously I remember this incident. It was New Year's. We were having a party. Unfortunately, Chris wasn't invited, so I'll just tell you what I heard. It's just like this. He was so sure that the giant robotic spiders from hell powered by angel tears fueled by whale oil and consuming human commitment insecurities were descending upon us. Jesus Christ. Anyway, he was so sure of this that he traded his Thumbmore earnings that he didn't spend on Jello shots for boxes of canned beans. I mean, who needs that many canned beans? Seriously.
And as Chris's money eluded him, so did his fame.
Who's Chris?
But after a brief stunt on Broadway in which he wrote, directed, published, and starred his own musical one-man tribute to himself entitled Chris, What Have You Done Now?, it seemed like Chris was on the road to recovery. Unfortunately, most of the profits were spent on elaborate costumes and hairpieces that he had used. Chris was thrown to the gutters by his family, friends, and longtime lover Kagome.
He was in a bad spot, and he realized that, but I just didn't care.
What the hell's the matter with him?
But who did care? Forced to live out of cardboard boxes until his parents temporarily disowned him, Chris thought that his luck would never return. And for years, he was right. Creating the persona Fingerling, Chris wrote a book about his life and his newfound obsession with the number 23. Although it was never published, it was picked up by writer Fernley Phillips and turned into the movie The Number 23, starring Jim Carrey in 2007. Chris was never reimbursed. Heartbroken by this, Chris barely made a living singing classical songs, ultimately ruining them forever. He marketed a CD calling it Crispified, but stopped signing them after his only first show on tour, where he was attacked by a pack of wild dogs he thought he saw.